What's up everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy Chidi Gaines. I've got another video for you guys. In this video I'm going to be talking about shoulder pain. So I go to the gym all the time and this is a usual pattern when I look around. Some people will be holding their shoulders like this, or they'll be shrugging like this, or they'll do a lift and then they'll come out of it and I'll grab their shoulder. A lot of people go through shoulder pain and it's a prevalent problem that I see all the time, both in clinical practice as a physio, but also at the gym or even just in everyday life, friends, family, and so on. The shoulder is a very delicate joint. It covers through a large range of motion because it's a ball and socket joint, and it's a very, very shallow socket because you need to be able to go through this range of motion. The hip, for example, has a deeper socket, so it's a little bit more restricted and it's a little bit safer because it has those muscles to keep it in place. With the shoulder, there's various different muscles of your rotator cuff. So your rotator cuff muscles are the muscles that sit around your shoulder to keep it in place. But because of the shallowness of the joint and because of the wide range of motion the joint covers, the joint is privy to be put in very, very bad positions. For example, any overhead activity causes a lot of strain on the shoulder because of this very reason. So when you experience shoulder pain, what are the steps that you need to take? What do you need to do to recover? The first thing you need to do is rest, okay? So don't go to the gym and start hitting the bench press, squats, deadlifts, overhead presses, wherever it is. Just rest it for a while and let it recover. You don't want to be putting it in bad positions by externally rotating with loads of weight on your back or pressing loads of weight. Have some time, let it recover. The next thing you want to do is check for some muscle imbalances. So when you're thinking about a joint like the shoulder, you can't just think directly what is wrong with the shoulder. You need to be thinking also what are other musculature around the shoulder that could be affecting the way that my arm is moving, that could be causing pain. For example, if you've got very tight pecs because your pecs, your chest muscles come through here and it attaches onto your upper arm bone, your humerus bone, this bone here, okay? If this is tight, it might cause a little bit of internal rotation in this side, and let's say this side is normal. When you're pressing, because you're internally rotated, this could potentially lead to impingements later on. So there's little things like this. Another example, okay? If your rhomboids are weak, okay? Your rhomboids are the muscles at the back of your shoulder blade, in between your spine and your shoulder blade, that help to do this movement here, bring your arms in. So it's called retraction of the scapula. If these are weak, that means when you're resting or when you're not doing too much work, it's not going to be allowing your shoulder to be put in the right position. For example, when you're performing a bench press, this one might be strong, but this one, because the rhomboids are weaker, you're more likely to be injury prone over time, have an uneven press, and then cause damage to the shoulder. The other reason why your shoulder could be causing you pain as well, things like shoulder instability. People that are very hypermobile have a lot of shoulder problems. There's shoulder impingement. So like I said, your shoulder has rotator cuff muscles. There are four main ones. I'm not gonna get into the boring details of the names, but the one that really gets impinged most of the time is called the supraspinatus muscle. And this muscle is responsible for performing the movement coming out to the side here. It's called abduction. So getting your arms up like this. So every time you're moving, when your arm is away from your midline, away from here, you could potentially be causing strain to that muscle. And over time, this muscle could potentially get impinged. Okay, a key way of knowing if you've got a supraspinatus impingement is if you bring your arm across like this and you internally rotate, bringing your arms out like this, and then someone presses against it as you're pushing up against their arm. If that causes a little bit of pain, you potentially might have a supraspinatus impingement. I'm going to speak about exercises that you can do to deal with a variety of these shoulder problems in a moment, but just going through some more potential causes for your shoulder pain. Like I said, a rotator cuff impingement, potentially in very rare cases, but they do occur, a rotator cuff tear. You know about this because it will be very painful. You might have stiffness of some of the muscles around your shoulder. Okay, so obviously you've got your front delt, side delt, rear delt, but you've also got the smaller rotator cuff muscles as well. If these are quite stiff, this could be causing a little bit of pain, or it could cause inflammation. If you're constantly training without allowing it to recover, a little bit of inflammation is going to occur, and this is going to cause limitations in movement, and especially if you're not getting that rest, you're just going to be building it up and building it up over time. All right, so in terms of dealing with the rotator cuff problems, after you've diagnosed it, pecs are tight, rhomboids are not working properly, maybe your traps are not working properly, or you're not moving properly with your trapezium muscles. Once you've diagnosed the reason why you're getting shoulder pain, for example, your rhomboids are too weak, or your chest is too tight, or you've got a supraspinatus impingement, a rotator cuff tear, shoulder instability, whatever it may be. Some of you might have frozen shoulder, which is a different issue. You now need to try and fix the problem. It might be as simple as foam rolling your pecs, or foam rolling your back, foam rolling your traps to try and get rid of all of those muscle imbalances. So foam rolling is a very, very easy way of getting rid of muscular tightness, which will allow your ram to move properly. When you move, there's something called a scapulohumeral rhythm. Okay, this basically is just a fancy way of saying your shoulder blade and your upper ram move together in sync. Okay, when I reach to grab a cup, I can't grab a cup that's really far ahead of me without having my shoulder blade move forward as well. Scapulohumeral, humerus bone, scapula, the shoulder blade bone there. So that rhythm, it moves in sync. The reason I'm saying this is because your shoulder blade is obviously on your back. So if you've got different musculatures that are too tight, for example, your traps, which actually helps with scapular elevation. So if this goes up like this, okay, it's going to affect the way that we can move, okay? Because it's going to affect that scapulohumeral rhythm, how much our arms can go forward with our shoulder blades coming forward with it as well. For example, if our traps are up here, and this one isn't too bad, when we're bench pressing, you can see how this can easily cause an inefficient press and more pressure going onto one shoulder than the other, which is going to over time lead to injuries and shoulder pain. All right, treatment. How do we fix these problems? Identify the problem, okay? Foam rolling is a good way, so foam roll your traps, foam roll your rhomboids, your lats, make sure that everything is working in sync, make sure that your scapulohumeral rhythm is intact and everything's moving properly, okay? You should be able to go like this and be able to get a full range of motion, getting all the way down here to all the way up, okay? All the way here and all the way here without any problem. Your right one shouldn't be, your left one shouldn't be all the way up, and your right one like this. That's going to tell you you've got some sort of muscular imbalance. Let's foam roll, let's fix this. Use a foam roller like so, or you can use a massage ball like this as well, against the wall or on the floor. About 5 to 10 seconds and a trigger point, stick on that to allow that the tightness to be broken down, and then move over to the next spot. Be very, very gentle with it. Make sure you're going through the whole area. You can do your pecs as well. Everything, like I said, is correlated to each other. All right, so once you've done the foam rolling, something else that you can do is grab a resistance band. Okay, you want to work on the different movements that those rotator cuff muscles go through. So again, I'm going to just name a few. You've got your supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis. Okay, very nerdy kind of physio talk here, but basically all of these muscles perform certain movements in your shoulder. So they perform abduction, adduction, okay, external rotation, internal rotation, flexion, and extension. Okay, so actually flexion and extension, the rotator cuff muscles don't really have too much of a play on, but the rest of them, the rotator cuff muscles that I named earlier on, will have some sort of involvement. Regardless, you still want to be able to use the TheraBand in all of these movements. Okay, so grab a TheraBand. There's different gradients. Go to the gradient that is suitable for you. Don't overdo it. You don't want to be putting too much strain on your shoulder whilst it's still recovering. You then want to stand on that TheraBand. Okay, go through the motion here like this. Do about 10 to 15 reps there, out to the side, 10 to 15 reps. Then we want to come here. Again, strengthening all those different rotator cuff muscles. External rotation here, tie it against the wall here, and do the internal rotation here like this, okay? Make sure that you're doing it with intent. You want to feel that burn. If you've got a weaker rotator cuff muscle that's causing the pain, going through all of these different ranges of motion will allow you to increase the strength and to eliminate imbalances in all of those smaller muscles. There's not many times when you're at the gym that you do this movement, is there? Okay, it's all pressing, bench press, overhead press, rear delts. You're never really doing external and internal rotation. So work on this movement is going to help you out tremendously. So we've done the foam rolling, okay? We've figured out what muscular imbalances we have. We've diagnosed the problem, okay? We've done a bit of foam rolling. We've done a little bit of resistance work to strengthen up all of our rotator cuff muscles. What else can we do, okay? The next thing that we can do is incorporate a little bit of what I like to call isometric contraction of the shoulder. So this just basically means contraction without movement occurring, okay? So when I'm squeezing here like this, that's isometric contraction. How can you leverage this to improve your shoulder pain? What you need to do is find a wall, okay? And then you just want to push up against the wall with your arm, okay? Have your arm straight and push as hard as you can for about 15 to 20 seconds, okay? Do that coming out. Do that pushing the wall forward, okay? Like this, pushing into the wall. Do that with external rotation, pushing the wall away from you. Again, holding the contraction and making sure that you're contracting the muscles of your shoulder for about 15 to 20 seconds. If you do these about 2 to 3 times a day, after you've rested and recovered, you've identified the problem, you've done the foam rolling, I can guarantee you that your shoulder pain will improve. So take all of these in mind. So again, let's recap everything again. So with the shoulder pain, the first thing you want to do is rest and recover. Part of that is actually going to be incorporating a bit of ice as well. So get an ice pack, stick it on your shoulder for about 15 to 20 minutes. Some of you can be doing this straight away. Some people think ice is just for when you're in a lot of pain or there's a lot of inflammation. Well, it is for when you're in a lot of pain and when there's a lot of inflammation, but it's not for when you're in loads and loads of pain, when you're in crippling pain. That's the only way you need to put the ice pack on. If you've gone to the gym, you've had a very tough session, put the ice pack on that joint. Is going to help to get rid of the inflammation. I see a lot of powerlifters on YouTube and will have a very, very heavy deadlift session. They're sitting on their chair, they've got an ice pack on their back. It speeds up that process of healing. It helps with the inflammation to get rid of all the inflammation, and it's going to help you with your pain. So use an ice pack, allow yourself to recover. After you've done that, then we want to work in the foam rolling. Foam roll your back, foam roll your chest, find out all the imbalances and make sure that you're stretching regularly. And then we're going to also use that massage ball for a little bit more precise trigger points and foam rolling. Get through your rhomboids, get through your traps, your upper back. Make sure that you're doing your pecs as well if that's very tight. Do all of this, incorporate a little bit of resistance work, getting through all of those motions, external, internal rotation, flexion, extension, coming out to the side, coming in, and then do some isometric work, okay? Pressing up against the wall with making a fist, out to the side, and then also pushing the wall against you as well. You can do a little bit of extension as well with the wall behind you and kind of pushing your arm into it. Isometric contraction is known to help with just overall shoulder strength, but it's also been found to help with tendon strength over time as well. So you're going to feel a lot stronger. Your tendons are going to be able to take a little bit more weight over time. I hope you guys got something out of that video. That is a comprehensive explanation of how you can deal with your shoulder pain. I hope, like I said, you got something out of it. If you did, comment down below what your favorite part was or what you got out of it, or if you've got any questions that I can answer, and please comment down below. I will be sure to answer them. If you're new to this YouTube channel, please subscribe. I've got many more videos like this. I'm trialing this out. This is a new style. Subscribe to the channel and I'll meet you guys in the next video.